All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Talkin Tech with Jake and Tim, episode number 22 now, 22 episodes of this podcast. So I guess we'll roll the intro. Alright, so we are back now. So I guess we'll start off with the first topic, which is the title of this episode, which is, where to go, which is that TSMC warns everyone that the chip shortages are probably going to continue through 2022, which is long
I
time.
feel like I remember seeing this. TSMC's original stuff put them at like March of next year for like back up to full production. Maybe. So to be clear, how are they measuring this? Because my guess is they're saying, well, we won't be back up until to like full capacity until end of this, at least the beginning of next year, if not later.
This says it would be later. It says in 2023 they hope to offer more capacity to support their customers, assuming that supply, like the demand, is still here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the demand's not going to go away.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be not till like at least 2023 when we'll be back to
TSMC. Okay, so this is
normal.
Basically, TSMC is like, look, guys, we're working on it, but we're not going to be. So they say TSMC now plans to invest $30 billion on upgrading and expanding its production capacity this year, up from the previous forecast between $25 and $28 billion. It reiterated its construction of its $12 billion Arizona plant is still scheduled to begin this year. Overall, the company plans to invest $100 billion to increase capacity over its plans over the next 3 years. So if I'm TSMC right now, I'm actually very happy because the demand's not going to go away.
Yeah.
And so right now I'm getting a boatloads of money that I can just dump into fabs. So all I'm doing is essentially, all I can do is grow, and there's not really a major risk to it. Other than maybe that, like, I guess if like the next product launches are kind of terrible, and then you don't need, like, there's not really a demand then, but people are still going to want 3080s.
Yeah.
Those will be in high demand for a long time to come. So.
Yeah, 3070s, the Ryzen
3070s, all Ryzen 5 stuff.
No Intel chips at all whatsoever.
So did you see, I think it was literally like a couple hours ago, LTT released the Ultimate Ryzen versus Ultimate Intel build.
Yeah, I didn't watch the video. I saw the
Ryzen beat them out. You could probably guess that already.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
So they made a point to say, basically, like, if you have the top line of either of these, your rig is amazing anyway. Like, yes, AMD's technically better, but like at this point, it doesn't really matter. It's really the low end where you want to start thinking about it. Yeah, and exactly. Ryzen has had a stranglehold on that mid to low end range for years now. I mean, that's not. So really, all they've done is sort of finally gained that. Oh well, it's officially bad because the sevens were. Like a couple generations old, like the Ryzen 7s were still really good chips. And one could argue for the vast majority, like if you're not only doing gaming, one could argue that the Ryzen chips were better in some ways.
Yeah.
Except if you like really ran the benchmarks in like CSGO and like just in video games, Intel was better. But now they have had that title taken from them, and Ryzen is beating them across the board I don't know what their new. They're releasing a couple new server. I say a couple. They're releasing like 30 new different server SKUs.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks really
Because
interesting.
Epic has had some stranglehold on the server world too.
Those
And
things
at least
are
in my
really,
mind, it has.
those things are really powerful.
As opposed to Intel's Xeon lineup, which is sort of their competitor.
I feel like right now like the only reason that companies are still buying Xeon chips is because that was like the standard for so long, and people don't really like want to switch all of their systems over to like AMD, and that just because like Intel had the advantage of being first with like the server chips or whatever. I feel like that's why not as many people are doing the
Epics. Yeah, 100%.
Epics.
I mean, we've been saying for months now that, ever since Ryzen, Zen 3 came out, we've been saying Ryzen is better. If you look at the Steam analytics, it's still like 75% of market share is on Intel. Like, Ryzen's better, but that doesn't mean people are going to drop everything and switch to Ryzen. Like, that's... Intel has the name brand. If you're casual, you'll be like, oh, I know about Intel. I'll get one of theirs. Like, it's... Intel has they have the market, they have the user base.
Well, that and
that's not going to disappear in a day.
I think they showed. I think it was an LTT video of like gaming with like older hardware, and like the top processor is like the, what is it? It was like the five. It was the 2014 one, like the 4900 or something K or 4600 or whatever. That's an Intel chip, and that was like the number one like CPU that was being like played with on Steam. So everyone that has Intel, like there's still like so many people that have like older Intel chips because like Ryzen wasn't competitive at all back then. Yeah, or Ryzen wasn't a thing, but
they
AMD
haven't been
chips
competitive since like the days of like when Pentium was good, essentially. They haven't been competitive in a long time.
I still can't believe they sell Surfaces with Pentium processors in them. The base model for a Surface.
It's absurd. It's so absurd.
And then they said they do those commercials with comparing the Surface Pro to the MacBook Pro
I know.
Or the MacBook Air, and it's like dumb. In this one, I love to game on my Surface, and I'm like.
You're using a Pentium, dude.
Yeah, you can't game on a Pentium.
I'm a huge fan of the Surface lineup, but to be fair...
Yeah, the way they look is, like, really nice, and, like, the build
I think
quality.
The utility is legit. But if I am to be fair, I rag on Apple a lot for the price. If I am to be fair, if you're going to spec out a Surface to something I would consider reasonable, it's going to cost you about the same. Like, it's still
it's going to cost you more.
Product.
I think it's going to cost you more.
Yeah, I mean, you gain a couple of things, a touchscreen and stuff like that. So, it's sort of give and take. It's what you want in a laptop, essentially, is really what you're...
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I feel like the Surfaces are like the MacBooks of the PC world, like the premium.
I concur with that. It's the premium, like, flagship of that market.
Yeah. So
if you want Windows and you want the premium, like, laptop experience, get a Surface. As far as like I would call it an all around machine, because you can get gaming specific machines, you can get thin and light specific machines, you can get like just if you want a massive screen, they have those. Like you can sort of at least on the Windows side, you can sort of choose what you want. But for an all arounder, I would say the Surface Pros are probably your best bet as far as a competitor to MacBooks are.
For sure. How did we get to this? We were talking about GPUs and CPUs.
Right,
okay.
Yeah, and then we switched to Ryzen and versus Intel, and then we say, we're going on tangents here. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. All right, so let's...
I'd like to take this time to apologize for my voice. I've been talking all day, so...
All right.
It's a little scratchy.
So do let's see, that one, and then let's go up, and then also open up this one. Okay. All right. So, Apple has officially announced their spring-loaded event for April 20th or 4/20, 2021. Nice. And it will be
That's a good one.
At 10 a.m.
Proud of that one.
Pacific Standard Time or whatever it is. So it's in this nice like colorful apple with like these like swoop things, like it's like a spring kind of.
Yeah.
but also like spring in the way that it's spring, even though it snowed yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. um, so yeah, so that'll be then. We won't be doing a live stream for it, but I am gonna make a video right after the event, just going over what they announced, just in like a quick like 5 to 6 minute video, just saying
And then
like everything that they announced, and then
hopefully by that weekend we'll be able to, like, the first reviews will be out from embargo and we can sort of go over the products a little bit.
yeah, and that Friday, yeah, that. So I think the reviewers get them either the day after or something like that, or 2 days after, and then the public gets them on Friday. So I think I'm gonna go on Friday and try to get whatever they announce. A couple.
So I'm looking at this. This article says
yeah.
The timing of the event does favor an announcement of new iPad Pros too.
Yep.
So that'll be pretty interesting.
We also.
I am excited. Sorry, you can
go ahead
over the lineup first.
Okay.
Well, I'm just going to talk about the iPad Pros. So
okay, so yeah, why don't we do the whole lineup first? So we have the iPad Pros, which is a minor refresh, but we'll go over like some of the important things that it could, that it may bring to the table. We also may see the AirTags, which are the tile-like competitors. It's just like a little circle, but they're like premium, and
it's Apple, so it's going to cost more.
Find your stuff, yeah. I think they said they would cost around $30 or $40
per tile, or for like a set of like 3.
No, for one AirTag, I believe. Tiles are like a bit less, but not by much.
Oh, you're killing me here.
We may also see an iPad Mini, but that's actually, I don't know why this is on the list, because we're definitely not going to see an iPad Mini.
An iPad Mini would be dumb.
I don't. Yeah,
Just get a big iPhone. They're easier to use anyway.
I don't think we're going to be seeing one. Then we may see the 3rd generation AirPods, or AirPods 3.
Interesting.
Which I'm very excited for. So hopefully we'll see some more colors. Maybe we'll get them in black.
I hope they make them out of a solid block of aluminum like they did the AirPods Max. That'd be funny.
I would love for them to make a matte version of them.
I think that would be neat.
Yeah, matte black.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah,
that's not what Apple does.
Yeah, they may do the colors, so I think they will. We may also see a new Apple TV, 4K. iOS 14.5, but I think that may just get released with that. And then we may see new Imax, which is going to be very interesting. I cannot wait to see if they announce the new Apple M1 or.
What's the
would it be M1X of the new iMacs with Apple Silicon?
Because then they talk about like the M1s, they were trying to work on like a high performance one to put in a desktop, so like that would be, they'd probably use that.
Yeah, I think it would be like the M1X or something, and then they
has like, I think it has like twice the processing core, so instead of 16 or whatever it is, I think is it 8 or 16? I think it's 8.
Yeah.
Right, for high performance, for eco, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, so it'd be...
So I think it's 16, like 8 high performance, 8 eco, or something like that.
Yeah, and then more GPU power as well.
Oh, yeah, probably. So real quick, I'm not the biggest fan of iPads.
I don't like iPads either.
I'm kind of excited to see these ones.
Yeah.
Because...
Yep.
I'm excited to see what they want to do. This says they're expected to have a similar design to last year's models. Not a whole lot you can do with the iPad design. I don't really care. The larger version will reportedly be Apple's first with a mini LED display. I am excited by this.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, mini LED supposedly has the advantages of OLED without the disadvantages, i.e. burn-in and that sort of thing. But it has like darker blacks and a higher contrast. Essentially, I think it's the idea with a higher.
Is it more dimming zones or less? I think it's more dimming zones.
I mean, more dimming zones is always good.
Yeah.
But so I'm excited by this. I am of the opinion Apple does a lot of things wrong. Apple's display technology, I feel like, is always.
Yeah, I don't understand how they do it, like especially with that iPhone.
Well, I'll tell you how they do it
with the iPhone XR.
I'll tell you how they do it. They keep these massive bezels on it. Look at like the iMac. The screen is amazing, but the bezels are huge too.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll get into that in a minute. But
I will say, the actual I find those bezels not on phones, but especially on laptops and other desktops, I find them very easy to forget about. so long as the screen is really good. And Apple screens are some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I'm excited by this.
The
the
other
other thing I'm
thing
excited about is, sorry, I'm going to cut you off again. Apple, for the longest time, has tried to push iPad as a laptop replacement, which I don't think it is software side. But rumor has it they're going to be trying to stick the M1 in it, which is a chip capable of, we've already seen, laptop performance. So
yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think that. I don't think that's. I don't think they're going to put an M1 in it.
If they can get the software
stick
side
to the A line processors. But the other thing that I think they are going to do to make it more like a laptop, which I thought you were going to say, but you didn't end up saying it, is they are supposedly going to be adding at least one, if not two, Thunderbolt 4 ports to the iPad Pro.
Didn't it already have a Thunderbolt 3?
No, just USB-C.
No. Then the Thunderbolt 4 port will go a long way. It will, because if they can have good keyboard and like external device storage, like external storage and external devices, if they can have good support for those, it's a big step in the right direction. Because that's a lot of what the iPad was missing. Was with a laptop, you got USB-A. Sometimes you have full-size HDMI. You at least have a couple Thunderbolt 3s. There's so much versatility in that. And the iPad was lacking all of it. So if you want to market it as a laptop replacement, you got to have that sort of stuff.
The biggest thing that I think it's missing is just like a desktop, like not the computer,
like a true homepage.
Yeah, true. Where like you can have different windows open that of the same app within that are not full screen. Like you can have them there. You can also see the time like in the bottom, or I guess they have it at the top. And then you have that some sort of start manager. I don't know.
I agree. I think for for iPads as a laptop replacement, the biggest thing holding them back right now is the software. They can't seem to accept that they need to implement some form of true laptop OS.
So I think that for the lower end iPads, they should stay with the iPad OS that they have right now, because a lot of those are for more like older people that don't need the full desktop.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
They just need to be able to open one app and not have it be confusing. Then I think for stuff like the iPad Pro, they need to have some sort of laptop thing.
I agree. I think that would be pretty smart.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. So then we'll also the iMac may have it'll get rid of the bezel, or the
bezel
bottom,
where?
the chin. Then the bezels will shrink a lot, and then it'll be I think like more squared off, kind of like the Pro Display XDR, and it should come in some new colors as well.
I know. I think I said this last time. I'm pulling a complete 180 on the iMac. I am not, personally, I'm not a big fan of all-in-ones. But I have neglected to admit that there is a massive market for it. And Apple does it better than anyone, largely because not many people are trying anymore, because Apple beat them out in the 2010 to 2015 era. They just had the best all-in-ones. For the time, and they're still pretty legit.
They had the best displays. They had
the best displays.
They were silent.
Form factor wise, they were incredible.
Yeah.
And for the vast majority of cases, they had enough horsepower to get the job done. So
exactly, I still have right next to me. I have a 27-inch 2011 iMac that I can still use. It has an SSD in it, and I'm still able. I can video edit on it.
They were just some of the. They were just blowing competitors out of the market, and so I feel like a lot of people kind of gave up.
And then I feel like Apple also gave up because they started just releasing the same. They haven't updated it. I think, did you watch, Luke Miani just released a video where he bought a brand new 21-inch base model iMac, and when he opened it, one, it was running Catalina. Two, he opened the About page, and it said, I think it said that it was an iMac from 2019.
Oh, God.
In the About section.
That's funny. Yeah. I'm with you on that, but I hope they sort of get back on track. I hope they don't pull an Intel. I hope they sort of realize that innovation is always good, and it's not just about squeezing your market.
I believe they are. I'm like 80% sure they are going to release a new iMac. Now, I'm not going to say anything like I'll shave my eyebrows if they don't. because we all know what happened.
Please let me paint your car. Please. Let me pull a Linus Lambo on you.
Oh my god.
Let me paint your car.
That
That'll
should be in
fun.
a museum one day.
I hope it is. Yeah. So I'm excited for this one. It doesn't have anything I'm interested in other than maybe the AirPods 3 if my power beats kick out on me.
I just bought the AirPods Pro. So
that was so funny. If the AirPods 3 are half decent, I'll take a look at them. But other than that, it's nothing I would buy. But it should be good stuff that the market does want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Stay tuned for videos. I'm gonna try to get. If they do AirTags, I'll probably pick up one of those. What did we just say? Maybe an iPad. Probably not an iMac, and if AirPods, I'll definitely pick those up to do an unboxing, and then maybe I'll do an iMac one after a couple of weeks to just like test it out and see how great it is. Yo, you know what they should do? They should, with the new iMac, they should just like make it so it can run on battery power, so it's a portable iMac. Great idea. Innovation.
Why do you hurt me? Nissan, innovation that excites.
That's what I was just about to say.
That stuck in my head. Yeah. That would be dumb, but I don't think I have to tell you that. Alright, what are we taking a look at?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I want to find a good one.
Do you want to do this one?
What?
Is that one good? I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure. Let me do this one.
But I always have stuff to say on the good old
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, Mr. Musk.
So apparently Elon Musk says that Starlink internet service should be fully mobile, which I don't know what that means, but fully mobile by the end of this year.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah.
Starlink is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because it seems like something that should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. With all the satellites that we already have.
I mean, how hard would it be to retrofit a couple of satellites? I mean, I say a couple. They're moving at like, what? Anywhere from 17 to like 50,000 feet per second or something like that.
That's a lot of feet per second.
It's a lot of feet per second. It's several miles per something. Second, I think, right? Because if it's 5,000 feet, then it's anywhere from like 3 to 10 miles per second, something like that.
Yeah,
my math serves me right. But anyway, regardless, it's hard to do. I recognize that, and I think Elon is in a unique situation where he owns a bunch of businesses, most of which would be benefited by the fact that he also owns a rocket company. Not to mention the fact that rocket company is one of the best in the world, if not the best. So that is, I mean, maybe that's why it is. Maybe it took somebody with this specific portfolio of companies to put this together. But I think Starlink, I think if he does this right, he could effectively put a big dent in the
ISP
wireless
market.
Internet provider, whatever, market by like, I'm going to say 2030. It's going to take him a while to get enough satellites up there to make it worth your while. But if he can do it, and I think he can if he sticks with it and he plans this out, and Elon's a smart dude.
Yeah.
He's a smart bro. You know, me and Elon, we're on first name basis now. Yeah. I think if he sticks with it and he plans ahead and he makes good choices, I think he can make a pretty significant change.
Yeah, I agree. I concur with that statement.
Interesting. Hold on.
Yeah.
So this Twitter thread, it says SpaceX wants to connect more than just your home to Starlink satellite internet. The company submitted an FCC request to begin installing and operating terminals on moving vehicles from cars and trucks to ships and jets. And then Elon responded and said, "Not connecting Tesla cars to Starlink. Our terminal is much too big. This is for aircraft, ships, large trucks, and RVs." So their idea is to use Starlink as a mobile wireless provider, essentially. So as I understand it, the Starlink terminal, that box that essentially is going to sit outside your house, they say, well, it's small enough that we could put it in an airplane or a truck or a boat or an RV, and then you could theoretically have internet from anywhere
Yeah.
because you're not tied to a location because it's a satellite.
Okay, wait. So
Which
I have a question. How do those satellites like get there? Are they? I assume they're just solar.
they're probably solar. They could be nuclear, possibly. Some rovers and I think some satellites are. I'm now going to look this up. It would actually kind of be dumb if they were not solar, though.
Yeah, because the sun's like right there.
Because I was thinking, like, well, then why are some rovers nuclear? But it's because they're on planets with dust, not in space. So,
Yeah.
but I'm going to look this up because.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
excited to
more
see.
than 30 different nuclear reactor-powered satellites still orbit the Earth. The U.S. launched a couple. The USSR launched most of the other ones. So basically, the idea is yes, but they're kind of old now. Like I say,
Yeah.
kind of. They're really old now.
Yeah, wait, so that means that this could be your source of Wi-Fi, your source of data. Like it'll all just be Wi-Fi and data will just kind of be the same thing.
It sounds like
Because
that's what he's pushing.
if everyone
I mean, if they can
has,
shrink the terminal enough to throw it in like the trunk of a car, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah, but no, but like, well, my guess is they would probably make a portable one. But if everyone got one in their house, then I feel like then that would pretty much cover everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's an open network though. Theoretically, people would password protect theirs. I mean, I guess
Well,
if Elon decided
if
to monopolize the market and put one in every single person's home,
because then it
then
could just form a net of like whatever. You know what I mean? That's kind of what Xfinity tried to do with the Xfinity Wi-Fi, but they didn't do a very good job of it.
yeah, I don't think Xfinity has the cultural significance to do it.
Yeah,
If you say Xfinity, I picture a bunch of old white guys in a boardroom, and I don't like them. But if you say Starlink, owned by Elon Musk, I picture a cool dude who is in my memes and understands my generation, and he owns Tesla. Like, he's cool.
yeah,
I am especially because it's going to be our generation who's going to be the ones implementing this when the technology comes around. If he can connect with us on a near personal level, he's got 1,000 times better. He can possibly do it as opposed to never being able to do it like Xfinity, in my mind at least.
yeah. Agreed.
It's a long shot still. But it's there.
Yeah, yeah. Just a quick thing that I forgot to mention for the April 20th event, or next Tuesday's event, is that it was actually leaked earlier in the morning by a now 100% leaker on appletrack.com. The worst smart assistant ever besides Cortana.
She's so bad.
Siri.
She's so bad.
Siri, so someone must have asked Siri when's the next Apple event, and then she was like, oh, April 20th, 2021. And then, so then, then later in the day, everyone got their invites to the event. So I can't tell if Apple just like did it because they didn't want to forget later, or if like someone just like did it to like someone on the Siri team was like, oh, I'm gonna put this in and see if anyone notices.
I think it was somebody who like wanted to, like a different time zone and he just wanted to go home early. He's
Yeah,
like, I'd have to
something.
like put this in at like 3 a.m. I want to go eat dinner with my family. Like, I'm just gonna put this in now. Nobody's gonna. Who would guess? Who would ask Siri like when the next Apple event is? Like, they don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They just sort of threw it in there. I think
I'm still waiting for when they're gonna like improve her, like a
that's
lot.
never gonna happen, man. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that much stuff that I ask her anyway.
No,
that she
because
doesn't know.
she's trash.
Well, I just don't ask like voice assistants like that much stuff.
I would
She's
use
usually-
voice assistant
she's
more
usually
if,
pretty
if she
decent.
could get stuff right.
I mean,
I've had terrible. I would use it. There has been many times when I'm in my bed and I don't want to reach for my phone, and I'm just like, hey Siri, text somebody, and she's like, you wanna open Instagram? And I'm like, no, text Jake Brown. You want to text who? I'm like, just forget it. And so then I don't write back to Jake.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So
I think you need to
blame Siri.
Okay, it's Siri's fault. But she's
Yeah,
the
it's her
number one
fault.
Apple leaker.
But she's the number one. I'm on speaking terms with the number one Apple leaker. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that to my like grandparents the next time I go to like a wedding. Oh yeah, what are you doing right now, Tim? Oh, I've been sort of getting into the tech world. I'm actually on first name basis with the number one Apple leaker. Yeah, pretty cool.
That's great. Sorry, I know we have a ton of Apple news, but apparently Windows 10 can now run on Apple's M1 ARM Macs. So Parallels is releasing an update to its desktop virtual machine software that allows M1 Mac owners to install Windows 10 on ARM. Parallels Desktop 16.5 now includes the necessary native support to run the ARM version of Windows on M1 chips following Apple's decision to not support Boot Camp on M1 Macs. It was more Microsoft, but anyway. The latest version of Parallels Desktop for Mac, is now to run ARM apps or traditional x86 apps side by side with Mac or iOS apps on Big Sur. There will be the same app limitations on Windows 10 on ARM side thanks to its own app emulation, but Windows 10 on ARM will soon support x64 app emulation as well.
Okay, cool. I guess it's nice that you can theoretically have this feature, but
alongside the Windows 10 ARM support, it's also available for Linux distros like Ubuntu, Kali Linux, Debian, and Fedora Workstation as well.
I guess it's cool that they have the features, but like, here's the thing. It's never going to be great. It's never going to be super intuitive and perfectly stable. Like, it's good that they have it, but I don't know. I think if you're going to use it a whole lot, you might honestly be better off just like getting a Windows laptop and doing something else. Like, just having to, honestly.
Yeah, but if you're just using it for some quick tasks.
Yeah, hence why it's good to have the option.
Yeah. Agreed. Let's see. What's this one?
I don't know. What is this one? All right. I'll talk about this.
No, but
nice.
But I swear there was something wrong with this trailer or something it said. That was the title.
It was ahead of the debut.
What?
9. Hold on. Let me read the article real quick.
Because I swear because I wouldn't have saved if it was just a trailer, because it said there was like, oh, they like got like something really, like they messed up like something in it or something like that.
We're gonna talk about this anyway, just because I love this franchise.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is the Fast. Is it called Fast 9? Yeah, Fast and Furious 9.
That all started with Fast 5. Love it. Ooh, they got the new Acura NSX in here. They got the new Supra, which is actually just BMW. It's basically all the new versions. They got the GT500, the Mustang.
GT Dave?
No, not GT Dave. And then they, of course, just have an absolutely kitted out 1970s Charger, because why wouldn't you? It's probably a 69 Charger, actually. Whatever. It's Fast 9. They released a trailer almost exactly like a year after its original release date of May 2020, but obviously it got canceled because the Rona. Yeah, so it's going to feature basically everybody you know, plus John Cena as the villain. So that's cool.
John Cena?
John Cena plays the villain. They love putting like former pro wrestlers as like villains in
Yeah.
this. It's so funny. Like The Rock was in one, and now they have John Cena. They had what was it? Hobbs and Shaw he wasn't a wrestler, but he is like that same big burly type guy. What's his face?
That was
Idris Elba.
What?
Idris Elba was Hobbs and Shaw.
I thought wasn't The Rock in that?
The Rock was also he was in Hobbs and Shaw because he plays Hobbs.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jason Statham is Shaw. He was in that, but he plays the good guy. The Rock was the bad guy in Fast 5, maybe 4. I think it was 5. Ooh. Sorry.
I need to clip that on Twitch.
Fast 9 will also see the triumphant return of Sung Kang as Han Lu, whose character has been presumed dead since the 2006's Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Wait, say that again? Say that again? What did you say?
Presumed dead?
No, before that. No, what's the thing that you were saying? Were you saying Han's coming back?
Yeah, Han is coming back.
Let's go.
I know. Han is, so if you don't know, Han is the greatest character from this entire franchise. The actual like actor who plays him he's like an actual car guy. Like he has a sick collection too.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Okay, I'm gonna take this moment. Rip Paul Walker. He had the coolest collection of anybody who was in these movies. Han has the Veilside Kit RX-7. Very cool car. But my boy, he had the original M1. And I'm not talking about Apple. I'm talking about the BMW M1. Super cool car. He also, of course, kept his GTR R34 Skyline with the Fast and Furious 2 paint job, of course. He had an R35, I think. Super, super cool collection.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I recognize that these movies, like from a critical film point, like narrative standpoint, they're bad, but they're so fun to watch, man. They're so much fun because it's just so dumb. It's amazing. Ooh, wait, hold on. So, I don't know. Hold on. Let me watch the trailer real quick. R34 is starting out strong. Oh yeah. So they got so in the movie they essentially have a modified B2. It looks like a B2 Spirit bomber. It looks like that's what it is, at least. It's got that same sort of like stealth wing. The engines are like all cowled and stuff. Really cool. It looks almost like the Learjet from the Quinjet from Avengers.
Oh yeah, that thing is sick.
Very cool. Excited for this movie. I will watch it.
Yeah, I will probably also watch it. Let's see.
If you want to talk more about cars, I'd be happy to.
Let's see. So, Google Docs and Google Sheets experienced a partial outage on April 12th. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I was actually one of the people that was affected by this. Just trying to do some work, and I could not. I was going to create a Google Doc, and every time I would try to create one, it just was like unable to do. Try it in a couple of minutes, and then it just still didn't work, and so it was out for like the entire day, which was pretty annoying. I think I opened a couple of like older docs that I had previously used, but I couldn't do like any new ones, which was.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
Are you gonna say that if we use them so much and it's okay if they have partial outages every so often?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna say we rely on Google
Yeah.
and their associated tools. Google
all
Docs,
of their cloud
Google
services, because all the apps that we use run on
so
Google
much
Cloud or Amazon.
So actually, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here, and I'm gonna say we as students use them. I'll elaborate more later, but Google, they have had so few outages. It is impressive that they are able to pin down all this stuff. Like, it is very impressive to me that they're able to make sure their security is tight and like their servers are working. Because think about the gargantuan size of their cloud network. Like it's inconceivable. And yeah, they also have an inconceivable number of IT support whose sole job is keeping that up line.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I understand that, but it's still so impressive. Now back to that little tangent I said. Interestingly, while our generation, the gold standard is Google Docs, the professional workspace, they still use Word. Word is still...
I think it's
and
transitioning
Microsoft
over to Google
tools
Doc.
are still... I wouldn't be surprised if as our generation becomes, goes to the workplace.
But even the older ones, because I've been I've seen so many people that since Google Sheets and Google Docs have Slides still isn't that great. But
yeah, Slides is still bad.
Sheets and Docs have improved so much in the past 6 years that there are tons of companies, because they just get the G Suite, so everyone gets their Gmail, their Google Docs, and so they kind of just use that.
There's no doubt that I think Google has been I feel like Microsoft has a little bit been content to ride on their...
They've been trying to do the Office 365 thing, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, and I think they, to some extent, have sort of been coasting on their reputation a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Google has been very proactive about not only going after workplaces, but they are smart to go after schools.
Yeah.
Because that's where people are going to learn their skills. And in addition, it's the perfect tool for schools because it's free. It's a great tool.
Yeah. Microsoft's Office is pretty expensive.
It's $100. It's absurd. So yeah, I think Google has done a great job, and I like their tools. That said, I've worked with people who absolutely despise their tools because they don't know how to use them. They grew up working on Word.
And
so
I think
that
still
transition
has some
is very
more
difficult.
Word still
does have
some
more features
and stuff like that.
It does, and so if you're used to Word, you're gonna hate Docs.
The main thing for that Google Docs brings to the table is that collaboration factor that you can have more than one person working on a doc at the same time.
Yep,
or sheet
I
or
agree.
Whatever.
I agree. It does. I think it's got a lot of things going for it, and I think one of the biggest ones is the price tag.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you could do it all free. Now, obviously, Google says we'll help you out here if you pay for it, but it still pales in comparison to Microsoft. It makes Microsoft look bad because their tools are probably 5x what Google's are. It's absurd what the price tag is. So
yeah,
yeah,
Google Docs comes free if you get the email, if you want a custom email, it comes free with that. Yeah. So
yeah. So if you want to rag on Google for having their servers go down, fine. Their tools are they're gonna probably be the way forward, unless Microsoft makes some pretty drastic changes to the way they're both marketing and the way they distribute their tools.
Yep. Okay, so I'm still confused at what this is. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the Spotify car thing.
I think it's my guess is it's if you don't have Apple CarPlay integrated, it's just a little smart screen that focuses on Spotify, so it's easier to see what you're listening to and easier to pick stuff and that sort of thing. I think that's all it is, because it's only going to cost you $80. It's pretty cheap. So,
and I think right now, if you do it, they'll send it to you for free.
If you have Spotify Premium and you submit a thing, I think they do send it to you.
I just submitted it a second ago.
Oh, you did? I need to do that. Hold on, do they have the link?
Yeah, it's the first. If you click on car thing, and
okay.
Just click on that. Yeah. So, but does it have
it.
to connect to the internet, or how does that work?
I don't know, man.
I could see this being useful, but I just want to know how it connects. Is your phone have to be a hotspot, or what? Also, why is it called the car thing?
It is.
That's the stupidest name ever.
I kind of like it though. It reminds me of like the boring company, like that
Yeah,
sort of thing. Just
yeah.
put
I
no
can
effort
just see
into it.
I can just see someone's employee walking in and they're like, "Oh, we have this new idea for a product or whatever," and they develop the product, and then like right at the very end, they're like, "Okay, guys, so we need to come up with a name for it," and then some employee just like walks in and is like, "Huh, that's a cool car thing," and then they're like, "The Spotify car thing. That's what we're gonna call it," and like that's
Yeah.
it. Like they didn't put like any time into it. Um, so you can say like, "Hey Spotify, skip," and it will skip the song. Um, and like you said, it's meant for people that don't have the car charger, the Apple CarPlay and stuff. So the device comes with a 12-volt car charger to plug in. Um, you plug in the provided
Cigarette lighter.
USB-A to USB-C into that, and then it mounts in your vents.
Hmm.
And then does it say anything about um, Wi-Fi or data?
Oh, it's voice
So
controlled too.
it
That's neat.
needs a phone for a data connection,
Okay.
which I assumed. So if you don't have a ton of hotspot data, I could see that being an issue. What would have been smart is if Spotify like teamed up with a carrier and said, okay, if you pay us $2 more per month for Spotify Premium or whatever, we'll, you know what I mean? Like they'll put it
Yeah.
in it or something like that. I feel like they could have done something pretty cool with that.
They could have
But
teamed up with old Elon, put it on Starlink.
yeah, no, but some other carrier.
Not quite there yet, but it would have
Yeah,
been fun.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. If you have Spotify Premium, it's like $7. It's just the shipping, so it's probably worth picking up.
yeah.
If nothing for a fun memento, or you could leave it at home. Honestly, that would be pretty neat. If you like would put it on your desk
Oh
and
yeah.
hooked it up to like your audio system, and it's
Oh
just like a
yeah, yeah.
little
You just hook up
touchpad.
to your speakers. Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
That'd
it's
be
kind
pretty
of
cool.
it's kind of the same as saying Alexa or
But
Google.
it's only going to cost me $7 now, and it's got
Well,
a
that
touchscreen on
and
it.
you can
Like
plug
that's
it
pretty
in.
neat.
You can plug it into your any speaker you want.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Honestly, I like that. I like that idea more. I
Yeah,
might do that. But like I said, it's only gonna I have Spotify Premium, so it's only gonna cost me shipping. So it's worth it to me.
yeah.
I don't think it's worth the $80. To be fair,
Well,
if you don't have premium, I don't think it's worth it. But if you do, it might
and
be.
to just say that you got the Spotify car thing.
Yeah, the
What's better
Spotify
than
car
that?
thing. Come on, be. It's like when people are like,
Someone,
"Oh, what is that?" Like, be specific. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's the car thing.
someone
It's
walks
who's
into
on
your
first.
someone walks into your room, they see it on your desk, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. What is that?" And you're like, "Oh, it's the Spotify car thing." And they're like, "Okay, well, I'm
Oh,
trying to
what's
look
it
it.
called? I'm
Yeah,
trying to grab it. Yeah,
I want to look it up and buy one." No, it's called the Spotify car thing. Yeah.
it's literally who's on first.
Oh yeah,
And if
yeah.
you didn't get that reference, then you're too young, my friend.
What's on second?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know.
All right.
Is on third.
Yeah.
Um. All right. Next up, CS:GO apparently has a years-old bug that can let
CS.
a
All right,
hacker
baby.
take over your
Love
computer.
CS. Oh, don't love CS.
So the bug was discovered by the Secret Club, a white hat hacking group, which found that the hackers can exploit the bug by using Steam's invite system should a victim click on the link. So just don't click on a link that anyone sends
Yeah,
you.
so it's clicking on a link. You can do
Yeah.
that. So it's not really CS.
Well,
It's
I want to keep
Steam.
reading though. So a hacker could acquire private information from anyone who accepts it. The exploit was discovered in the source game engine, which Valve developed and is used in several game Valve titles, including Counter-Strike Global Offense, which some games that use the engine no longer have the bug, but the exploit is still present in CS:GO, as seen in the video below. Okay, wait, so I want to watch this video. So they open up their thing. Oh, I see what it is. So it's like it's an invite to the game, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So it looks like someone's inviting you to play, and it's
Yeah.
like actually coming from like whatever the Steam thing is, but it's
Yeah.
not that.
And it's the scary thing to me is that it's in the source. That it said it was in the source code, right?
Yeah, or something like that.
Like the game engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. That means it's been in there a long, long time.
Yeah.
because
They
that
should-
was developed a while ago.
They should fix that.
Yeah. But don't click on random links. Make sure it's your buddy actually inviting you to play, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, agreed. This one was interesting because it was. So it says the FBI is remotely hacking hundreds of computers to protect them from
Oh, I saw this.
hafnium. So
Which
they're
is
hacking
another
you.
hacking group.
They're hacking you
They're hacking you to
to
protect
prevent
you.
someone else from hacking you.
Yeah. I understand why people are so scared about the FBI hacking them, but I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Like I honestly, I trust the FBI to not steal my credit card and then buy a bunch of stuff on Amazon, and that's all I really worry about as far as cybersecurity goes. Actually, I want to talk about something real quick that's not on here, but it's something that Linus talked about on the WAN show like months ago, and I find it very interesting and
LTT startup.
I would consider very concerning. He talked about how like sites, services like 23andMe, that date. I mean, they have literally just sort of a collection of data of your genetics. It's not clear how that could be used in the future, and so that sort of thing theoretically could be sold off like any other data. Like your, what your browsing history is, or what what you tend to click on as far as ads go, like that sort of thing. And that is a lot scary to me about your genetic code. Like it's unclear how that could be used in the future, and it's not clear that it will be kept safe. Now, granted, it has a lot of really good uses. I think there have already been a couple cases where we've actually like found like criminals who've gotten away. Like we have DNA samples, but we couldn't find them, and then we find like a relative and track down who it was. Like, so they have really, really good use cases, and I haven't heard of anything so far about something negative coming from that data being leaked or sold. But that being said, it's not clear and how that's going to be used in the future, how it might negatively affect you, and once you submit that stuff, you can't get it back. It's out there forever, which to me is worrying. Put it that way.
For sure. Okay, you're all good with that?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I just find that topic really fascinating, and I'd love to hear somebody with a lot more knowledge talk about it than me.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, let's do this one since we were already talking about it.
Oh, which one?
It's down towards the bottom. It's the Surface.
Yep.
Microsoft announced the Surface Laptop 4 with choice of Intel or AMD processors.
Wow.
The AMD version starts at $300 less than Intel's equivalent. That's amazing.
Wait, actually? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, okay. The Microsoft is shipping the Surface Laptop 4 on April 15th to the US, Canada, and Japan, starting at $999 for AMD models and $1299 for the Intel version. What does the base model come with? Oh, I take it back. The difference in pricing likely comes to the fact that Microsoft isn't using AMD's latest 5000 series CPUs.
Yeah, they're using that 4000 series.
They're using the Zen 2 based. Okay. Is it a stock thing, maybe?
Yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably that.
That said, the mobile chips for 4000 were still super solid. I would argue that you should still wait for the 5000 chips, but the mobile chips for the 4000 were really, really solid. They're also going to ship with Intel's latest Iris Xe graphics, which means games like Overwatch will be playable at 1080p Ultra. Yeah, if you want to really game, get something a little beefier. Get a Razer or what's another good one? MSI has a couple good ones. Asus has a couple good ones in this price range too. But I think Razers are still some of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want a game, I would get a dedicated GPU at least. Get at least a 2070 probably is right in the sweet spot right now.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I had to say. We were just talking about it earlier, so I found that. Figured we might as well
Yeah, definitely.
pop that in.
So I guess we'll do this last one, and then I have one more thing to show a sneak peek of something to everyone. Is it Ludwig? Is that how it's pronounced?
Ludwig.
Ends his
I don't know what
31.
you're seeing.
Oh, did I not
It's
click on?
probably Ludwig. I mean, it's a German name.
Yeah. Here, hold on. Let me go up to it.
Where are you looking?
Right. No. Hold on. Where did I go?
Found it. I found it. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, I saw this. It's
Yeah.
probably. I thought he was English though.
So he
Yeah,
ended.
the actual name is technically Ludwig. Think Beethoven. But it's probably Ludwig because accents.
So he ended his 31-day stream by breaking Ninja's all-time sub record. So near the end, he slept a lot, nestled in his race car bed with a blanket over his face and something new playing in the bottom corner of the screen. Ludwig.
Dude, I don't blame him. Jesus.
Yeah, he was exhausted. It was after
That was a genius move, though.
Yeah, another day in the streamer's Twitch subathon. He had been live since March 14th, and now there was less than an hour left on the clock, though as he knew this had happened before, a number close to zero was no guarantee that the stream would end, except this time was different because he'd finally reached the limit he'd set for himself, 31 straight days of streaming. Since he started the subathon, he had become the most subscribed to streamer on Twitch. On the 13th day, the day before he took his subathon live, he amassed
before he got up to like do his
before he
day.
started this this one he had 1,730 subs per the stats site on Twitch Tracker. By April 1st, he had 160,138. As of April 4th, that number had jumped to 183,191. By April 13th, he had just shy of 262,000. When the stream ended on April 14th, at 12 a.m. Eastern time, he had more than 225,000 people had watched it, and he had more than 282,000 subs.
That's awesome.
That's crazy. Also,
I would like to take a moment. Let me look up the tweet. So, you can vamp for a little bit.
Okay. What was the thing?
I'm the only
Users
one
in the
who's
chat.
able to vamp. It sucks.
What?
I said apparently I'm the only one who's able to vamp.
No, wait, hold on.
Pretty trash at
So
this.
apparently they wanted him to stay live or something. But I think he was done.
Yeah. It said in the article like he knew that if he okay, I found it. He said like if he knew that if he were to if given the chance, the Twitch community would just never let him end. Essentially is what he was saying. So
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Ninja. I think he's made mistakes in his past, but I will say this is something I would have expected him to be like, all right, that's it. I'm out again. Like I'm coming back to Twitch. I'm going to break the record again. Ninja tweeted out just after he said this. Records are meant to be broken. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little sad, but congrats to Ludwig on holding the new sub record at Twitch. And I think that was perfectly worded.
Agreed. Now I'm not
I think
gonna
that
be
was
able
just
to.
very
I was
nice.
gonna try to break the world record for the longest live stream, but I guess
Yeah, no,
that's not gonna be happening because I'm not streaming.
You're on your own for a straight month of live streaming.
No, not doing that. That's okay. I'm gonna pass. Anyway, I think that'll be the last article. Real quick.
Fun one to end on.
Yeah. I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek of the Desk PC Part 4, the finale, which will hopefully come out tomorrow night, if not early this week. The video is almost done. So let me know if you can hear the sound. The sound should come through. But let me know if you can't. Can you hear that, Tim?
I was not paying attention.
Could you hear that?
Not really, but we could see it.
Okay. Anyway, that'll be coming early, hopefully early this week or tomorrow even. So make sure you stay tuned for that because it's going to be a great video. And then we have a lot of stuff coming up next week. So make sure you stay tuned. Follow me on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the TechProfJB. And if you want to chat with the community, head over to the techprofessor.net, which is our forum. And I think that'll wrap it up for this episode of Talkin Tech with Jake and Tim. That is Tim, and I'm Jake, the Tech Professor, and I will catch you guys in the next one.